If you have zero skills, you're actually in the best position to start a business. What you're going to do is learn a new skill, and this is going to be something you're very interested in or curious about, and share what you've learned with other people. And this is the most fun business model you can start because you're genuinely interested. This is basically like getting paid to do a hobby. So when I was 16, I was really interested in photography, and because there's a lot of technical skills to learn with photography, you've got aperture, ISO, shutter speed, very technical, and there's a lot to learn. I would read books, but I would go on YouTube and learn from like instructional videos on how to be a good photographer, and I found that very useful. And when I was using those videos, I thought, oh, it'd be really cool if I could show my photography. Although it was just a hobby, it's an art form, so you want to share it with other people. And I had this limiting belief that only when I'm a really good photographer and I've mastered all the skills and I've got all this amazing kit, can I then put myself out there. And that was completely wrong. And you might think this only applies to like artistic endeavors, but I've seen videos of like Spud Bros. They make jacket potatoes and put videos online. Everything has become an art form now. Even making a jacket potato, millions of people watch it. And that's the economy we're moving into. So we're moving out of the labor economy into the attention economy. And with AI and robots, very soon, most labor jobs are going to be obsolete. A bin man, a robot will do that. You know, there's certain jobs that require a human touch. So nurses, and wherever there's nurture required, you don't want a robot next to you on your deathbed. You want a human, you know, to comfort you. But for the most part, a lot of labor jobs are gonna go, and that's not a bad thing. Like, we would rather be spending our time doing things we're passionate about and curious about. So when I was learning photography, I thought the value came at some end destination. You know, when I'm a really good photographer, then I can, I don't know, charge for photo shoots and sell my prints for a lot of money. Very few people make money that way. Like, I looked at the photo that sold for the most amount of money. Technically, there's no difference to something I could take, but there's luck involved. So just to sell a really expensive print involves luck. But where the value is in the journey. So there is always somebody one step below you. Whatever you've learned about photography, there's somebody that hasn't learnt it yet. That's the nature of, you know, there's always new people being born. There's always new people coming into this interest, whatever it happens to be for you. So your business is going to take one of two forms. You're either going to go on a journey or build something in public. That's the two forms of what you're going to share with people. So going on a journey is, for me, it would have been my journey from not being a photographer to getting good at photography. Or building something in public would be like starting a business. So building a photo gallery, say that was my goal. A lot of people would want to do that, and they don't know how you do it, and neither do you yet. But as you learn the lessons, you share them. So what I did instead was I watched YouTube videos, become a really good photographer, kind of in quiet behind closed doors, and nobody knew I was doing it except for my family and friends. So I'd missed out on the opportunity to share that with other people, and I learned a lot of lessons along the way, lessons that I couldn't find in the YouTube videos. I've been a professional photographer. I've worked at like music festivals as the cameraman to put it up on the LED screen. So I took it quite far, and the things I've learned are very valuable, and I didn't share them with anyone. I just did it, and that was it. And I missed a trick because I was waiting for that end point, when I've got the good gear, when I'm really good at my craft, when really the value was all the way along. And that's what I do now. I share what I'm learning as I go. So you've probably got this business idea in your head, and a barrier to entry is having equipment or expensive setup fees. The first thing we do when we're thinking about business is go, right, I've got to buy this, buy that. Business is designed to earn you money, so it's money in. And all we do when we start a business is spend money, so it's money out. And that is quite a big misconception. You don't have to do this. And I've started a few businesses over the years, and I've always done that. Straight away, what do I need? Right, I've got to spend this. And it's money out, never make anything. And I've learned you can start any business with basically nothing. And if you already have this passion and this interest, you would spend money on it anyway. So if you're into photography, buying a new camera or buying a new lens or a new flash, you're going to spend it anyway. You're going to buy that thing. So it's not, so where it's a passion, you don't see it as an expense. It's not like something lost, because you're gaining what you want. You're gaining that nice new camera. But that was also a misconception for me. There are a lot of people that can't afford that camera, and if you can't afford it at the moment, then you're in the same position as a lot of other people, and there's value in that. So if you just go out and take pictures on your iPhone, there are a lot of aspiring photographers that want to get that nice camera that you want, but they can't afford it. So when you go out showing the pictures you're taking with your iPhone, and they've already got the iPhone, they can relate. And then you put that out there, and when you can afford the camera, you'll be able to teach them which camera to buy, because you've done your research, and then they're ready to buy the camera. So they're always one step below you, wherever you are. Even if it's very low on this new skill level, there's always somebody just behind you, eager to learn what you can teach them. So how do you actually put this into practice? What you're going to do is identify the thing that you would learn for free anyway. You've probably already got this. It might be photography, it might be something else, it might be cooking or religion or anything, walking your dog, dog training. There's something you're doing, it's a passion, you're curious about it, you're Googling it all the time, you're watching YouTube videos, and you're soaking up information, and you would do that for free. You have been doing it for free, and you're slowly improving your skills on it. So humans like to be doing something, we like to learn new things. So there's something you're learning. It could be archery, shooting, I don't know, but you know what it is for you. Identify that thing and continue to learn the skill. So you're always reading books, watching YouTube videos, and learning that new skill. The only thing you're not doing is sharing the lessons you're learning with others. So that's the step you need to implement, is get good. That's the second skill you learn. So the first skill is the actual hobby itself, or the interest itself. That could be dog training, could be photography. Then the second part is get good at sharing it with others. And there's a bit of a skill to this. You can make YouTube videos and get 0 views, or you can make YouTube videos and get 100,000 views. There's a skill to that, and you can learn that. So that's the second part that you learn over time. And that becomes fun. Like it's another skill we can learn, so it's very interesting. So my most popular video was basically telling people to stop consuming and start producing. And there was one very big objection to this I saw in the comments quite a lot, which was, well, if I produce something, somebody else has got to consume it. So that doesn't work. We can't all be producers, otherwise nobody would consume. And what this point of view fails to take into consideration is there is always someone one step below you. There is always somebody becoming interested in photography, so they can consume your content because they don't know. This is why universities work. You teach somebody something, then the next class of students come in. You don't just teach everybody one thing and then university stops, because there's always a new wave of new students interested in your thing. So whatever you produce, there'll be people interested in it, they'll consume it, then they turn into producers. So I'm an amateur photographer. I watch your video and learn how to get good at photography. Now I'm a professional photographer. I don't need to watch your videos anymore. I can now sell my prints and sell my services to people as a photographer. But there's a new person who's just become interested in photography, and now they're consuming your content. So it does work. Everybody can be producers. And the landscape is shifting with content creators. It used to be winner takes all. So there'd be one guy, main photographer man at the top, that produces the best video on how to learn photography, and he gets all the views. Now it's kind of leveled out. So a lot of smaller creators, like micro influencers, are getting views, and they're helping people in this way. So it's shifting a little bit. So we all start off as consumers, and that's how university works. You go to university and consume information. Then you come out of university, say you're learning to be a doctor. You go in and you consume information on how to be a doctor. Then you get qualified, and then you become a doctor and serve and produce in that way. So people are always going to have hobbies and interests, and you do as well. So if you're already learning these things, you might as well share your lessons with other people. And I've found a great platform for that is obviously YouTube. And you're probably thinking, right, how do I make money out of this? You said this is a business. And YouTube has a great monetization kind of system in place. So we're moving out of the labor economy into the attention economy. So that means if you can get people to watch your content, you make money. So you get ad revenue. And it's very simple. You don't have to sell anything. And it's a beautiful business model because you get to share the thing you're passionate about, help others improve their skills in that area, and they don't even have to pay you. They pay you with their attention, so you earn money in that way. But there are multiple revenue streams. You can earn money from ads. You can coach people, so they find your video interesting and valuable, but they've got more questions, so they want to speak to you one-on-one. You can sell them a product or sell them your art. So people really will want to support you. I've found this with things that I've done. When you make content and you help people, they want to support you and they want to just buy your product. Sometimes they don't even need it, but they want to, help you out because you've helped them. So you might be thinking that's okay for photography or for this other thing, but there's no interest in the thing I'm into. And you've just got to look at Spud Bros, right? They make jacket potatoes and they have a huge following. There is always somebody interested in your thing. And the thing now with AI and with certain technologies, it's all becoming depersonalized and we're drawn to the human touch. We're humans at heart. So seeing somebody have a human interaction when they're making a jacket potato, or just these things we're never going to grow out of. They're always going to be interesting to us. So I've implemented this in my own life, and I've done it twice with this YouTube channel where I share things I'm learning and I'm monetized, so I make money from it. And I also started a burger business, and I just make videos of me cooking burgers in the garden, and the hook is starting a burger business from my garden. And this resonates with a lot of people because most people have thought about starting their own business or starting a side hustle or something like that, and it just resonates. And I don't actually have to sell the burgers to make money. I make money from the views on the video. So I'm able to give out free food. It's a beautiful business model. I'm able to give out free food, build a community. But the value comes because a lot of people have had that thought. I'd like to start, a burger van, but they don't know how to do it. And I'm one step ahead. Well, they probably would have never have thought of starting in their garden. And it required basically no setup. I didn't have to buy a burger van. I just had to buy a griddle. I bought it for £60 on eBay and then bought some ingredients. So £100. I started my burger business from £100 and it now makes decent money every month. But I'm one step ahead. So they haven't bought the griddle yet. And I get questions, which griddle do I buy? So I can tell them. Then I add something new. When I make a little bit of money, I add something new to the setup. I add like a fryer, and then people are asking me, which fryer do you buy? So I'm always one step ahead. And then I was going to buy a burger van, but I realized it just worked better running it from my garden. So I added certain things to my garden. So these are all questions that people would ask me, and that's why people are watching the content. They're interested to see what I add next. And if it was photography, what camera is he going to buy? Because he's interested in it and he does his research. So that's where the value comes in. So I've done this, I know this works, and it's a very liberating business model because you get to do something you love and earn money from it. So it's beautiful. So I encourage you to identify that thing that you're passionate about, that you're already curious about, and share it with other people. And you might think, well, I don't want to show my face. I speak on these videos and I'm quite public. But my burger business, I've never showed my face. So there are always ways, creative ways to share your thing. I'll link it in the description so you can see. But always creative ways. You don't have to do something you're not comfortable with. And the way you figure that out is you look at other people that are popular in the space that you're interested in and basically copy what they're doing. And that's the same thing. They're one step ahead and then you copy them. So I've got a quick Bible verse just to wrap this up. Proverbs 11:25. A generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. So that's what you're doing. Like the university teacher, they're refreshing others and they get paid for it. You're teaching your lessons and you're going to receive for it. And the beauty with most things that you're interested in, let's just take photography. you're passionate about photography, so you're learning the skills anyway, so you do that for free. So that's not time out of your day. You're going to buy the camera anyway, so that's not nothing lost. You share your skills and your lessons online and people watch it and it resonates, so you might earn money through ads. Then you can buy more equipment, but you also are developing your skill as a photographer. That was the whole point. So now your pictures are getting really good, so now you can sell prints, and you've got an audience of people that like your photography, so they want to buy your prints. So it all just snowballs, and in the end, within a couple of years, you're like that main guy with all of the top equipment selling amazing prints as this like really good photographer, and you become unrelatable at that point. That's why where you are now with zero skills is the most valuable time, because if I go on YouTube and I see you as a successful photographer working with like famous clients with equipment I can't afford, it's unrelatable. I'm going to watch the video of the guy walking around a park with an iPhone because that's what's available to me, and I'll grow with him. And then he says, right, I'm saving up for this camera. Then when he buys the camera, I can afford it too because I've been saving up. And then I buy the camera with him, and then we learn together, and by the time he's this amazing photographer, so am I. So where you are now is the perfect starting point. It always is. Zero skills. There are a lot of people in the same position and they don't even know where to start. So if you can figure out where to start and show them, that's very valuable. I look forward to learning from you and seeing what you produce. Hope that helps. Speak to you soon.